Today, I'm going to talk about my favorite winter running layers that don't have logos. .54 miles, 9 minutes, 2 seconds per mile, 141 beats per minute today. Trying to take it nice and easy for my Sunday run, but we had an insanely strong headwind, which I wanted to go up to like the 10-mile turnaround point, but at kind of like the 7.5-mile turnaround point, I was like, this wind is insane. I don't think I can keep dealing with it anymore. I've already had a pretty decent amount of mileage for the week, so I thought I'd turn it around. And then I had that headwind turned into an amazing tailwind and had just so much fun, basically getting carried up and lifted on the way home. So overall, a really fun running day, but a pretty typical winter running day for this year in Chicago, which has been a very mild winter. So I've been layering a little bit differently than I typically do for the winter, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that. But before I do want to go over some disclosures. A lot of the products in this video have been provided to me for the purpose of review. Some of them I purchased with my own money. I'll do my best to try and mention it when there's stuff that was provided to me for the purpose of review or stuff that I didn't purchase myself, so that way you guys can know that. But in either event, no one's paying me to make this video or to wear any of this clothes, and no one's going to preview any of my thoughts until you guys get a chance to see this video on YouTube. So with the disclosures out of the way, let's start talking about my winter running layers. First, we'll start off kind of from the outside in. Today, I was running on my outermost layer in a vest. This one is by a relatively new brand called Korsa. Now, Korsa is kind of like a sub-brand of Roadrunner Sports. So Roadrunner Sports is a company that I've been working with just generally for a while now, and I've been a big fan of their R gear. They have their own kind of in-house brand of running clothes. And now they have a specialty sub-brand called Korsa, which just released or kind of started shipping product a little while ago. This is a vest that they sent to me, and I've been running in this for a while. A lot of you guys probably have already seen it in either my Instagram posts or in other YouTube videos. Vests have been pretty much is all that I've needed as far as the outermost layer for this winter, which has been relatively mild in Chicago. So temps are generally like around the freezing point range, like 20 degrees Fahrenheit or as high as 40 degrees Fahrenheit for most of my runs. So within that range, so 10 degrees plus or minus freezing. And for me, in that kind of temperature range, the vest has been a really great option for me. This one is a little bit different in that there are like puffy down parts to the vest. The pockets I do really enjoy because there's like little dividers in there, so you can keep things segregated. So if you've got keys and gels, or if you got a phone and gels or and keys, you can make sure that those things stay separate, so it's easier to find as you're running. But on the sides and on the back, there's kind of, they're not ventilated, but instead of it being fold down all the way around, there is a stretchy portion which is has like some sort of like a warmer backer on it, so it's not like you're just open to the air. It's not a completely ventilated vest, so you're still getting a little bit of kind of air being able to escape without it being just like full mesh, because you still do want to keep this for warmth. And there's a little bit more of that material along the back kind of collar area. The one thing that I would keep in mind for this vest and for Corsa branded materials is that the sizing seems to be a little bit off. Normally I'm a medium and everything, or a medium/small. For the Corsa stuff, I originally got this stuff all in mediums and everything was just way too big. So I got a small in this vest, and that still feels like it's like a little bit roomier, like a roomier cut. I think that's part of it, but the small does seem to be the right fit for me for this vest. Other vests that I've been really enjoying are from TCA, and TCA is a brand that I've been talking about a lot on this channel. This is a vest that they sent to me to check out. I like this one for when it's a little bit colder, because this is full down, or whatever this puffy jacket material is. I don't know that it's actually down, but it's puffy jacket material all the way around for this vest. The other nice thing is that the pockets on this TCA vest do have some dividers, but they are lined with fleece, so the part that touches the outside of your hand have fleece on them, so if you have cold hands, put them in there, it's very nice and comfortable. So I do like that. This is a size medium. The sizing seems to be just about right for it, and I've been really enjoying this. The third vest, which you've probably also seen a whole bunch of times, is from another brand that I really love for kind of no logo or just running basics, is Uniqlo. And so this is a vest that I purchased with my own money, and this is a gray one that I've had. This is the thinnest of all the vests that I have. It is like puffy jacket material, but kind of like nominally. It's not super warm, so if I just need something that's a little bit warmer, this is usually the one that I reach for. A lot of times I run commute, and so if I'm run commuting, the pack on my back feels about as warm as this vest will be when I'm running with the vest, and so that just gives you an idea of like the level of warmth that this thing provides. This one is super cheap. It's super straightforward. I don't think there's any pocket dividers in here or anything like that. No fleece lining. It's just this bubble coat material, and very, very thin bubble coat material, but it stays nicely out of your way. And so in this one, I'm in a medium, and so the sizing has been pretty true to size for that. Next, let's go like the next level underneath, which is the light jackets. And so sometimes if the vest is too much, then I'll just go with a light jacket, or if it's going to be a little bit colder, I'll go with a light jacket and a vest. And we'll stay with Uniqlo for the first one. And this one is one that I've had for a while. I brought this with me when I went to the Tetons and ran that Ragnar relay. I didn't know how cold it was going to get in the evenings, and so I was worried about that. So I had a lot of layers that I brought with me. This is a very thin but packable jacket, so I like it because it has this little bag that it came with. A lot of times when I'm running with it, I might put it in like the beverage, the outside like beverage stretchy pocket of a running backpack, so it fits nicely in there, or I can put it in sideways and tuck it all the way in the bottom of a running pack, and I don't mind if it gets smushed. So that's why this one's really convenient. I've been wearing this even just very recently, just for my runs, with my run commuting. If I want to have just an extra layer on top of either a long sleeve or an extra layer below one of the vests, this is one that I've been reaching for. The next one that I'll talk about is from TCA. And this one is one that I just wore very recently, so it's actually not clean. But it's from TCA. It's a little bit thicker of a quarter zip, so I really like that. A lot of the quarter zips that I have, a lot of times I'll just get them from races, and so all winter long, that's what I'm wearing. But this one I like. It's a little bit thicker than all the other quarter zips that I've had, so it keeps me a little bit warmer. But they've done it very strategically, because in the back, it's like a mesh perforated material, so it does help a lot of the heat to come out from behind you. And that's a good way, I think, of managing heat in my mind, because the wind is what hits you up front, and that's what makes me cold. But I don't ever feel cold from wind hitting me in the back, or my back never feels cold. Also, like, even if I have a tailwind like I did today, I don't ever feel like cold hitting me in the back. So that's a nice place to like let some of the heat out from a warmer jacket, so I could stay warm without getting too damp inside. Because in the wintertime, when you're getting too bundled up, and you don't want to over bundle up, because then you'll start sweating, and when the wind hits you when you're sweating, your clothes get wet, they stay wet, and the wind, evaporative cooling makes you cold. So you don't really want that. You want to stay warm, but you don't really want to sweat if it's going to be cold out. So I've been really liking this one. What I do like about this one is that there aren't thumb holes on this one. I love thumb holes, but for something that's going to be a little bit warmer like this one, I don't want thumb holes, because if I'm going to wear something like this, I'm probably also going to have gloves of some sort, whether they're really thin gloves or they're my thick winter running gloves. So the thumb hole is just extra material or an extra hole for cold weather to get in. This is kind of just right. I like that. I'm not a huge fan of these like details, but they are reflective, so that's been pretty nice. Next, I'll talk about another option from Uniqlo that I've been wearing for a while. Now this one is harder because I think this was only offered for a very short amount of time. A lot of you guys have asked me about it. It is from Meguro Yamaguchi, so I think it was just kind of one of those collab designs that they had for a little while. But this is basically just a very thin jacket. Again, I wore this to the Tetons. That's the first time I had it. A thin white-ish jacket that I got from Uniqlo. It's kind of the level of like a very thin hoodie in terms of thickness of the material, but a lot of times I find like this and a vest or this and my running pack have been more than enough to keep me warm for a lot of my runs this winter where the temps have been relatively mild for Chicago. It's not exactly a packable jacket, but it certainly can get folded up and put into your bag relatively easily. So I've been really enjoying this one. That's one that I purchased with my own money. At this point, let's transition to long sleeves. So a lot of times I won't wear long sleeves and light jackets. I usually like wear one or the other. The first one I will show you about is one from TCA. This is one that I've worn in a couple of videos already. I really love this one. It's quickly become one of my favorite long sleeves to run in. This is one that they sent to me, but I love it because it's super stretchy and very thin. So it's a long sleeve, but it's one of the cooler long sleeves that I have because the material is so thin and so stretchy. It's got thumb holes, which I think is just about right for this particular shirt and the way that you might use it. It's one of those where I might wear it on a day that I could probably get away with short sleeves, but my hands might be a little cold. So on that border between short sleeves and long sleeves, I think this is the perfect fit. This is the shirt that I thought I might wear for the Houston Marathon because I was worried about colder temps a little bit. That ended up not being the problem, but it was something that I was considering. This one also has a zipper pocket, which I think would probably fit keys if you have a very light set of keys. If you have a car key, I think it's going to weigh the shirt down and feel awkward in there. But me, I have like a house key and a little key fob to get into my building that I run with, so that fits in here really nicely and it stays out of my way. It's not something that I need to reach during my run, so it zippers in, it's kind of back, and I don't have to worry about it. I know it's there when I'm done, but I don't have to worry about like accidentally it falling out as I'm reaching for a gel in a different pocket. So I really like this shirt. Super comfortable to wear, super stretchy, and definitely one of my favorite running shirts that I've been running in lately. Now the last one that I'll talk about as far as long sleeves is this one, again from Uniqlo. This is one that I purchased with my own money. This one is a little bit on the thicker side, so if you need a running shirt that's a little bit warmer, this is one that I definitely like. It's got some perforations in the back, some strips or areas where the material will let some extra heat out, so that's nice. It also has them on the front as well, but I've been enjoying this one on days where it's a little bit chillier, but I'm not sure I want to go for a quarter zip, or I want to use it for layering underneath the vest. This has been a great shirt to run with because it is a little bit thicker. Now transitioning from long sleeves to short sleeves, I'll stay with Uniqlo and the shirt that I'm wearing now. This is just the short sleeve version of the long sleeve shirt. I liked it so much I bought it twice, but this time in a short sleeve. And again, I bought it with my own money. And this one is nice. Again, one of the thicker t-shirts that I own for winter. If I'm wearing a t-shirt underneath a layer, like underneath a long sleeve, but typically underneath like a quarter zip or a light jacket, I'll think about the thicknesses of the shirt. So like race shirts that I get, typically they're really thin. Some other ones are very thin, designed for like max like wicking and keeping you cool. Some of them are a little bit thicker. A lot of the ones that I've been running in this winter are a little bit thicker, and I like them for that. So this one from Uniqlo has been an option that I've been running in a lot. Another brand that I've been running in is from Korsa. And so they sent me two different shirts. The gray shirt, I like. It's got like little laser cut micro holes in the back, and I don't know how effective that is in terms of cooling, but I do like the look of it. It just takes like a regular gray shirt and makes it a little bit more visually appealing. The material is a little bit thicker. I wore that shirt for the Houston Marathon. I wore that with some arm sleeves. A lot of you guys commented that it looked like it was just too hot of a shirt for me for those 40-degree temps. Slightly above freezing, or a little bit above freezing. But I felt like during the run, I didn't feel like I was sweating. I felt like it was the right amount. There were some strong gusty winds, and when that hit, I definitely felt like I was a little bit chilly, but maybe it's because there was some sweat on the shirt, but that's a different story. We've already talked about that a lot in terms of what I was wearing for the Houston Marathon. But I have that shirt in two colors. I have it in gray that I wore at the Houston Marathon. I have it also in white, which I wore for the day that I was filming with Runner Sports. That video is up now, by the way. I'll post a link to that down in the description below as well. We did a little Q&A over at my local Roadrunner Sports location. So a little plug there for another video that I'm in. So go check that out. But that's the white one that I wore. Also, same material, a little bit on the thicker side, a little bit warmer. So if it's a day where like a tank top or a super thin running shirt isn't exactly what you're looking for, that could be a nice option as well. So those are the different layers that I've been wearing for like tops, from t-shirts all the way up to light jackets and vests. So and kind of everything else in between that I've been wearing. And those are the things in combination that, or just by themselves, that I've been using to get through this winter in Chicago. So it's been a mild one. Hopefully it kind of stays that way and stays mild throughout, but who knows? It's weather in the Midwest. We could have like an intense polar vortex winter in March. That wouldn't be too surprising, but we are like in mid-February now. So hopefully the worst is behind us, or at least we're staying at like this level of relative mildness for the rest of the winter. And that would be pretty nice. So if you have any other questions about any of these other running clothes or other like layering options, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to talk to you guys about it more down there. I know a lot of you guys are having conversations in the comments with each other as well, and I think that's just absolutely fantastic. So please feel free to jump in on the conversation. And before I go, I want to talk to you guys about the charity runner for this week. This week, it's Yusei Tong, who's running the Tokyo Marathon and raising money for the Nippon Foundation. I was happy to donate $70 of my money to Yusei's fundraising efforts, and you guys have also followed me and have donated your own money as well, and I want to take a second to recognize you guys. We've got a fan of Team Kofuzi. We've had Deborah Caballero with $20. Next two people also have donated $20, which is amazing. Adam Scott, Matt Jacobs, thank you so much. Anonymous donors with $5. Michael Mansfield with $10. Alpi coming in again with another $5. Ayo4 Ezekwi, hopefully I said that right. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced it. Let me know in the comments if I got it wrong. $5. Pedro Evo Brown with $50. Thank you. That's a generous amount. Kwong Lai with $20. Christopher North with $10. Jeffrey Anderson with another $10. Marie Deval, who I've seen in the comments a whole bunch, with $5. Kofuzi Run Club coming in again at $71. I've seen you guys a whole bunch of times now. Whoever that is, thank you so much. Very generous amount. Stephen DeGalen, Philip Bourne, and Michael Sessler, each coming in with $10. So far, by my count, unless I've done the math wrong, I think we're at about $340 or $350 raised for Yusei Tong's fundraising efforts. And it's only, what's today? Tuesday, so that's absolutely amazing. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me in these fundraising efforts. It really makes me so overwhelmed to see you guys jumping in as well. So that's all I have to say for today's video, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?